Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Satnam, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Gobind, and this is your Channel for Grace. Thank you guys so much for being here live, and thank you to those of you that are watching the replay. It has been a minute since I got the opportunity to go live and do this weekly broadcast. And in this weekly broadcast, I talk about the astrology of the week, and then I pull cards. I do a card reading to call in the message for us, whoever's watching this video live or on replay, for the week. And this week is kind of insane. The last couple of weeks have also been insane, and there's been a lot of stuff going on astrologically. Like, we just had a full moon last week that was amazing. I felt so expansive and like alive. And this week we have, of course, the main event of freaking our life, maybe, Pluto entering into Aquarius. So we're going to talk about that. I'm going to show you the charts on the screen so you can get the visual of it. And then we will pull some cards. And that's not even the Pluto into Aquarius is the biggest thing of the week, but it's not the only big thing. The sun is ending Scorpio. We're entering into Sagittarius season. Like, we're switching seasons. And this is a big deal because this completes this, like, what I call one of the most like historic Scorpio seasons of my entire life, since I have been aware of what the hell Scorpio season is and that it's happening, and and I'm living through it. So it's a big week. So before we dive in, I do want to say thank you to everybody that's here. Hello, Maria. Hello, Dawn. Welcome in. Hello, Bernadine. If you are watching this video live, then please say hi in the chat. I love the live interaction. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, download my free moon astrology guide, which will tell you what your psychic gifts are based off of your moon sign. It'll enter you into my email list, and I send out a weekly moon magic report with the horoscope for the week. So that comes out on Wednesdays, and I do this show on Monday. So that Wednesday broadcast, or that Wednesday moon magic report, takes you into the next week ahead. So you get ahead a little bit. And people love getting this moon magic report in their inbox. I get comments about it all the time. So I'm happy to be of service. I've been doing it for freaking years. it is really fun for me to do. Honestly, I it's like keeping up with the times, you know, the daily stuff. And also join us in our global community held on Mighty Networks, which is web-based, but there's also an app that I recommend you download onto your phone and join. Our network is called Channel for Grace. And within that network, I have a free global community, which is basically like our own private social media. We get private messaging. We get to post. We get to, I host events on there, tons of free events. There's replays of past events that we've had, yoga classes, sound baths, sound healing. I mean, there's like there is a library now of things available for free to you. And the best part is that we come and we meet together in a private space, in a sacred space where we can support each other and get to know more people that are in the same journey. And I've been saying it, but there's a lot of people waking up right now and getting curious. It's like the little like light bulb is going off. And people are like, oh, and that's an awakening. Like that's a mass awakening that I feel is happening. In some ways, it's very loud, and in some ways, it's very subtle. But I feel it very powerfully happening right now, and that's definitely Pluto and Aquarius, like influence, feelings, energy, frequency, vibes, all that stuff. So join us in our global community. Also, I want to, I guess, officially announce tomorrow. I'm putting out an email, but I want to officially announce that I am doing a holiday special that includes a 30-minute reading, as well as a copy of my book, Seasons and Stargate, your annual astrology guide for 2024. And 2025. I wrote this book, came out last year, and I am in the process of writing this coming astrology season, which will begin March of 2025. But in this book, I cover every single astrological season. I talk about the major astrology, the theme of the season, like what does the season generally represents, like which chakra are we connecting with during this time, which sort of energy are we working with, you know, what's the symbolism of the season and what is it calling us into in our own personal lives. And this is like the Atlantean year, in like my version of like following the astrological / ancient Atlantean year. Basically, it's a conscious way of moving through our own personal lives along with the seasons of astrology. And each season obviously calls us into a different story. And if you know the story of the whole zodiac, it starts with Aries, ends with Pisces. It is a spiritual journey in the same manner that you see, for example, the 22 trump cards of the tarot, where it starts with the Fool and it ends with the World card. It's a similar flow. And each season calls for something new. And within each season, we experience a different theme. And so the book guides you through these different themes by telling you about the astrology, the meaning, even the new and the full moons. I have like a whole horoscope for every new and every full moon of every season. And then there's also a workbook, and that one is sold separately. But next year I'm going to put the two together. It was like this didn't have the time for it this last year. So this year coming, there'll be all in one book. But anyways, you get the copy of the book, which is $44.44 plus shipping, regular price. But you're going to get it included in your 30-minute reading for the holiday special. So the link to purchase that holiday special reading is in the description of this video. And you can choose like who is the reading for. And then you can ship the book to the person that you're like buying the reading for if it's a gift, or you can ship the book to yourself, gift wrap it, and give it to someone. So the reading in the book can be both for one person or they can be for two different people, which I think is really cool, because maybe someone won't be interested in getting a reading, but you could use a reading, but maybe they would be really interested in getting a book that they can read, in their own time. And if they are, quote unquote, you're waking up, to what's happening in the collective, and they're curious. So check it out. I'm excited about offering that. And if you have any questions, let me know. Dawn says, I use the book all the time, checking the transits. Yeah, exactly. So it is really, 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 really useful, especially now that there's a lot of intense astrological transits happening and collectively affecting the whole planet. And we're all feeling it, moving through the energies. The other announcement I do want to share with you is that the Moon Goddess Training 2025 program is now open for registration. I've been playing the catch-up game with all the stuff that's going on. I was out of town. The reason why I couldn't do the broadcast here for like over a week, almost 2 weeks. Just got back. I've been like bombarded with all of these things like showing up into my life that are amazing, that I have to get ready for, and like a lot of activity happening in my life that's taking up so much space. I'm still playing the catch-up game, but I am going to create a mini Moon Goddess course for free for those of you that are interested in the program, want to learn more about it. And I will introduce the program, and that will happen in January. So be on the lookout for that. But in the meantime, come check out this page. Again, the link is below in the description. Gives you more information about the Moon Goddess Training, what it is. It is a year-long program called another subname, the Akashic Priestess Path. And it's a 3-part series with the end goal of becoming certified as an Akashic Records reader. So being able to read the Akashic Records. So the 3 levels, 1, teach us the fundamentals of how the Akashic Records work and what they are. And we do this as we journey through the mystery schools of ancient Atlantis. Level 2, we learn to apply the teachings deeply in our own personal life, inviting us to heal from trauma and awaken intuitive abilities. And that's very close related to the Venus sequence and the gene keys. And in essence, it'll awaken us more deeply to connect to the Akashic Records. And then level 3 is the actual certification program. So it's an amazing, like full jam-packed astrology, gene keys, human design, hermetic alchemy, like sacred geometry, chakras, Akashic initiations, Akashic journeys. I mean, I could go on and on and on. This page is like super long with all the information for each level. And you also can get all the dates, the tentative dates for the programs, and for level 1, level 2, and level 3 for like the whole year. So you can kind of plan around and see. I also have a super deal where you can get all 3 levels for the price of 2. And the system lets you do a payment plan. So you can choose a payment plan within the system, the payment system. And I also have early bird discount for all 3 levels. If you just want to start with level 1, and then you want to go into level 2, or you've already done 1 and 2 and you just want to sign up for level 3. And so anyways, all the information is on here. I am so freaking excited for Moon Goddess Training 2025. There's just something about it that is just absolutely blowing my mind, the energy that I'm feeling in my own personal life. Okay, let's dive into the astrology of the week. So, of course, the most important transit that is happening is Pluto entering into the sign of Aquarius, which is happening tomorrow. But before we dive into tomorrow, today we had an aspect where Mercury made an opposition to Jupiter, and the sun at the, almost very last degrees of Scorpio made a trine to Neptune. And the opposition between Mercury and Jupiter has to do with Jupiter expands anything it touches astrologically. And Mercury represents the mind. It represents hermetic alchemy. It represents communication. It represents ideas, the world of mind and the mental. And with Jupiter making this opposition, it's almost like, I feel like anytime Mercury Jupiter aspects happen, it opens the mind. I was going to say it opens the brain, but it's like it opens our mind, and then we can receive. It's like the mental space becomes activated in some way and expanded. And so I can see big ideas coming through with this energy. And so this was something that was active today. It's slowly going to be dissipating, but it was present today. So if you're like getting epiphanies, and I would recommend writing them down, that's what that would feel like. And then the trine from the sun to Neptune is beautiful, because Neptune is all about intuition and compassion, love. Neptune, and Pisces especially in its ruling sign, represents the expansiveness, like the Akashic, the cosmos. And this intuitive energy has this easy flow through the space of the soul, which is the heart, and in our bodies, and the intuition becomes heightened doing something like that. Imagination becomes stronger. Creativity, or the desire to create, or just creativity coming through us, flowing through us, there's an easy movement between those energies. And so that was also active today, which is really beautiful. And so then we go to tomorrow, and there it is. Pluto enters into Aquarius. He's been dipping his toes into this world, but he now officially enters and will not go back into Capricorn. This is huge. This transit is going to be happening for the next 20 years. And it represents, basically, Pluto is death, change, transformation. But more than anything, Pluto is the ultimate planet of liberation. Pluto, when he comes in, it's very scorpionic, because that's what Pluto represents. Pluto rules the sign of Scorpio. Pluto is also Hades. He's the god of the underworld, right? And then what is the underworld? The underworld is, well, there's many different ways to define it and describe it, but one of them is the subconscious realm. The other one is the darkness, or moving through the shadows, moving through the shadow world. And Pluto comes in and he breaks things down. He can bring in this having to face off with subconscious, having to face off and move through and transmute the shadows in our lives. And so it feels super uncomfortable. The last 16 years with Pluto in Capricorn, he's been breaking down structures of government, because Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, who is known as, he's the father. But in the realm of modern life, like, what are all these, where do you see this like authority energy of Saturn? You see it in governments, you see it in corporations, you see it in places that have control and authority. Maybe not so much control, but more authority that we like have to look up to and have to live by. It's like Saturn represents the laws, you know, that's why it's like the governments, the justice system, like all these things, all these like kind of organized things that hold, we feel, right? Because it's all an illusion anyways, right? That we feel has power over us or authority over us. And so we have to like bow down, you know, but this area of life in the world, in the collective, Capricorn, has been being broken down by Pluto, causing huge shifts we're already seeing, we have been seeing, but now it has reached its ultimate. I mean, how many things do you feel, how many things do you see even in the world of news and media that like just what's going on in the collective feels new, totally new, never seen before. And that's because this transition into Aquarius is finally launching. So we're done. We're done with Capricorn tomorrow. It is fucking crazy for me to say that. It feels really crazy. But that's it. The cycle has ended. And we enter a new world. What does Aquarius represent? Aquarius does represent the new world. There's all these stories about this age called the Aquarian age, which if you look at the great year astrologically, it's like the ages, right? It was like the age of Leo, and then the age of Cancer, and then the age of Gemini, then the age of Taurus, and the age of Aries, then the age of Pisces, which is what we've been in. And now we're transitioning into the age of Aquarius, which is like a 2,500 or so year time frame where humanity experiences this theme. Now, I'm not saying that Pluto entering Aquarius like marks the beginning of the Aquarian age, because I feel like the transition is more fluid than exact. And even since like things like even in 2012, you know, where like it's been going on for years, the transition, but I do feel, and I feel like a lot of astrologers would agree with me, that Pluto entering into Aquarius is one of the big marks, you know, one of the big fundamental solidifying of that energy. And Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, and Uranus does rule the higher mind. Uranus he's the planet of revolution. He's the planet of change. He's the planet of electricity, storms, change that is unexpected, sudden. It's also about rebellion, and Aquarius itself represents like the people, but more than anything, at least in my eyes, it represents the individual amongst the tribe. So the individual amongst the tribe. And what do I mean by this? And this is a concept that I feel is definitely awakening right now more than ever. It is us learning to be ourselves, and then also at the same time be a part of the whole. And there's a really beautiful way to describe what I'm talking about. And it's like the beehive, the bees, right? Every single bee has a purpose. I remember talking to my dad one time about this, and he was like, I'm studying the bees because I'm going to get, you know, bees, and I'm going to get a beehive and all this stuff. And he, you know, he's in Argentina, he moved back there years ago, and he's like building a little farm. Like he told me recently he got the chickens that lay blue eggs. And I was like, that's so cool. Because actually, wow, I just had this crazy epiphany right now as I'm sharing this, is that I remember seeing when I was little, and his house is right next to my grandfather's house. And like there was a lady that lived on the land that was kind of like the helper, and she would take care of the chickens, and they would lay those kind of eggs. So I bet you the reason why he got those chickens is because of that. Oh my God, sorry. Side note. Anyways, where the hell am I going with this? The bees. So the bees, there's like different tasks within the beehive, and they're very specific. It's like some bees are the ones that have to go and fetch the water. So you've got the water bees. They go get water and they come back. Then there's other bees that are like the ones that are taking care of the eggs, right? That the queen lays. There's other bees that are like there to just really watch out for the queen. And there's a system happening. But those bees, even though each one of them has their own individual task, they actually function as a whole. They like merge, like I bet you it's like vibrationally into a unison, a pulse that together they move. And that's how I feel this is I guess you could say the goal of the Aquarian age, or a way to define the possibility of a new world where the people and the community and the tribe functions in this way. The world, the humanity functions in this way. We're like, well, we realize that we are the consciousness of the planet, and we realize that each of us has our own unique design. Like I teach human design, gene keys, and astrology, and like everybody has their own unique imprint. Soul imprint, mission, soul contract, whatever you want to call it. And however, if we all were to live in our design, it would be like the symbiotic pulsing of the beehive on the planet. And then we would, for once, maybe this has happened before in the past, or maybe not, of the earth. Maybe in the future, maybe it's going to happen for the first time. I don't know. But that's when we live in unison like that with the earth, in harmony, I guess you could say, with the earth. That's a whole nother vibrational level of awareness and consciousness that we're capable. Like that's an expansion of our consciousness, because then that gets rid of the whole like we are separate, and it helps us to understand when we say we are all one, and all these teachers are like, we're all one, we're one. It's like, no, we're not, but we are at the same time separate and not separate. Do you see what I mean? It's like we are divine, and we incarnated here on earth, and we have our own little like unique physical perspective. We're like seeing through the eyes of God. The eyes of God is having an experience of us. And that's because the cosmos is trying to learn about itself. So it split itself into a million, billion, whatever pieces, right? And through all of that's why we're one, but we're also individual. It's a big concept, I guess, to really let sink in, but that's how I feel, right? But also, what else comes with Aquarius? Aquarius is also about technology. It's also about like quantum leaps, transmutation. And it's unpredictable. So as much as at the same time as we like to think that, oh, it's going to be like this or it's going to be like that, it's going to be what the hell we don't even know. You know what I mean? And it is breaking down, right? Because Pluto breaks down. It's breaking down like maybe what we think the future, because Aquarius is also the future, what we think the future is going to be like, and our idea of that. It's breaking down like how we define community and tribe. Maybe it's like expanding the awareness so that all of a sudden what these great teachers have been saying for a long time finally drops into the awareness of the collective humanity, where we're all humans. It's not like, oh, I'm Argentinian and you're Russian, or I'm this, hello, Oracle of the Mermaid, I am, this color of skin, I define as this, or you define. It's like those things have, and do to an extent, like they form part of like our core identity in many ways, and then in other ways they also separate, So maybe it's a breakdown of like, what do we mean when we say community? What do we mean when we say tribe? What do we mean when we talk about the people? Like, Anyways, I'm going off, but it's a big deal. Let's look at the exact moment. Because it's fun to see. Ooh, did I feel the shift when it happened exactly? Okay, I got November 19th at 1:40 p.m. Sedona time, which is mountain time right now. And so you're talking about 12:40 p.m. Pacific. So let's just say like 12:30 Pacific and 3:30 Eastern tomorrow. Like, put a little timer. I'm just kidding. And see if like you feel a shift. I mean, we're feeling it already, but maybe it'll be fun to check in with that at this exact moment that it's happening. So next, we continue on our journey here. And when we get to, so the sun will, finish transiting through Scorpio on the 20th. It's the last day of Scorpio season. And he's actually on a stargate, which is a Centaurus stargate. And Centaurus stargates are very like a very shamanic frequency. There's like 2 times that this happens during Scorpio season. And this is a time where we're like diving into the deep shamanic frequency, which is basically like a death ritual. Shamanic death rituals. And so it's like the completion, like the final shedding of the skin before we get ready to become the phoenix in Sag season. November 21st, here we go. We become the phoenix. Sun enters Sagittarius. The themes really change here because this is actually crazy. Because the planet that rules Sagittarius is Jupiter, and Jupiter is retrograde. So everything that we think is important on the outer reality is actually there. It's more of an experience of an inner reality. It's like the inner workings of Sagittarius happening inside of us, the contemplation, the reflection, because Jupiter is retrograde. But this is the season of expansion, and it's the season of growth. It's the season of going beyond your edge. It's the season of expanding your mind, learning new things, going on adventures. And because Jupiter is retrograde, I feel that these adventures may not necessarily be outwards in the material world, although they can be, for sure. They can be like you literally travel and embark on an adventure to different locations physically on the earth, or it can be the internal journey, an adventure that affects your internal world that is expanding you, but maybe it's not exactly physically moving you to different locations on the planet. So Sag season is really powerful. At the same time, however, in the Northern Hemisphere, we do have to keep in mind that this is the last season. Sagittarius season is the last season of the fall. And then the next season is Capricorn. And when the sun enters Capricorn, it enters into the winter solstice, which is an inner journey. So I guess it kind of matches, maybe because that Jupiter is retrograde. Fola says, oh my God, that's literally when I'm meeting my shaman. Oh, that's crazy. Awesome. So it's exciting. I mean, it's cool. We've completed this intense, crazy Scorpio season. Then we're like, okay, here's Sag. Let's see where it takes us, because Sagittarius takes you on a journey. Because you got to go discover something new. You've done the death and the release, but then the rebirth comes as the phoenix rises, and you expand and grow. So it's beautiful. It's a good thing. That same day as the sun enters Sagittarius, it makes a sextile to Pluto, bringing in a deeper understanding, like being like, hey, Pluto, holy shit, here we go. Let's go. We did it. We made it. We made it through to this new energy, to this new world. Fundamentally, right? Pluto holds an energy for as long as it's in a sign that is like an underlying frequency, because Pluto is the slowest planet. And it's going to take it, and it spends like anywhere between like 12 and like, I don't know, something like 30 years in a sign. This one's going to be a 20-year transit. So he's a sustaining energy, sustains a theme. For us, obviously on Earth, it feels like it's a long time. But if you're like thinking about how the universe sees time, it's maybe like 1/2 of a millisecond. But anyways, from our little limited human perspective, it's holding a frequency for like 20-year span. That's why these are the generational planets. So there's going to be little babies that are born with Pluto in Aquarius, and they're going to be the Pluto in Aquarius generation, you know, and they're going to have a whole new vibe. And yeah, so there's this sextile between the sun and Pluto. And they're like, let's go. We got this. Nudging us forward. Then, as we continue, so we are on Thursday, then we get to the 22nd. And on the 22nd, we see Venus. So 22nd is Friday. Venus makes a sextile to Saturn. And Venus, Saturn, in a sextile or a trine, well, the sextile is nudging us, right, forward, encouraging us forward. And this is about bringing the energy of Saturn, which is authority, could be determination, could be commitment, could be devotion, into the realm of relationship. And it's interesting because there's a mutual reception going on right now between Venus and Saturn, because Venus is in Capricorn, which is Saturn's ruling sign, and Saturn is in Pisces, which is Venus's exalted sign. So the mutual reception adds to this sort of harmonious working together of the energy of being a little bit more serious, but in a good way, in a positive way, in relationship. This could be like healing deep wounds as we find new values in our lives. And then we start moving towards those new values in our relationships. So you see how like it's serious, but it's like, it's a positive thing. So then we have that. And then we get to the 23rd, which is Saturday, and Mars makes a trine to the North Node. Mars is like, at this point, he's very close to going retrograde. He's going to go retrograde at 6 degrees on December 6th. So until then, well, he's already in shadow. And when Mars goes retrograde, he like starts to really slow down, and it feels really uncomfortable. Like we feel like things halt. Or like, okay, nothing is moving forward. And that's because we're supposed to be reflecting on action that we've taken in the past. And we're supposed to be contemplating how we're going to take action in the future once Mars goes direct. So there's the reflection period where things like, it's like rest. Just rest. In the way that you rest. I don't know, you know, so many ways to rest now. But anyways, so that is beautiful because North Node is destiny, life path. And in fact, during this aspect, Mars is also within orb making a trine to the sun too. So there's like a grand trine in fire, which activates or enhances passion, desire, and drive. And we're talking about, you know, things that activate. Fire initiates, sparks to life. It sustains like creativity and passion, and it expands from the heart. That would be Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. So a trine to the North Node is like, we are going on a journey. The journey is going to be an internal one. It's going to be challenging because we don't like slowing down. Mars does not like being retrograde and on top of everything. He's going to be going back into Cancer and spend most of the retrograde in the energy of Cancer, which is like bleh, home and family. But obviously can be beautiful and positive. It really depends on the perspective, right? So I feel this is like a reminder, like, where are you? What's the direction to which you're being guided that is going to help you heal this core wound of feeling like you can't be yourself? We are all going through this journey. We're all feeling it very intensely with the North Node in Aries. And we need to let go of the old us and step into the new us, which is basically moving forward with courage, despite the fears. Hello, Jeanette. Welcome in. And we end the week on the 24th, on Sunday, with Venus hitting Vega, which is the main star of the Lyran starseeds. And this is deep ancestral, ancient ancestral wisdom that guides us through whatever Venus represents, values, what we truly desire in relationship, how we, relate to that. Capricorn is like, there are things that I want, and I know that I want, and I'm willing to work hard to go get them. So it's a beautiful energy, beautiful frequency. This is a very, very big week. So let us pull some cards. Yes, 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 yes. Thank you, spirit guides, angels, teachers, for this opportunity to be here with you today. We would like to ask for a message for all of us that happen to be watching this video, that if you're here and you're watching, you're meant to be here. Help guide us through this week. What do we need to know? Important themes. What's the challenge? What are we being challenged with? What is the overall theme of the week? What do our spirit guides, angels, and teachers want to tell us at this time? And which animal spirit is going to guide us through this journey? All right. Where are we standing right now? Okay. 10 of Wands reversed. I think this is good. Dude, okay. This is it. This is letting go of Capricorn. Pluto Capricorn. So this is very much Capricorn energy, because it's like we hunker down, we have a goal. We're going to get to that goal. We freaking get to work, and we don't freaking stop until we get to the top of the mountain. It is hard work. It feels exhausting. It feels burdensome. But that's because we understand that in order to get this goal, we have to commit and we have to take responsibility. However, this was reversed. So it's time to unburden ourselves. That's too funny. It's time to unburden ourselves from what has been. Sorry. Okay, breathe. All right. This is good. That is very, very positive. So it's the unburdening. Wow. Actually, that resonates a lot. Sorry about the joke, but that resonates a lot for me just energetically within the collective. It's like the earth itself, the energy of like what this Capricorn season, like Pluto and Capricorn has been like just so heavy, and everything has been so heavy, and it's like it's time to just fucking drop the sticks, okay? That's where we're at. Okay, here we go. What is the challenge? Page of Swords. Page of Swords. A young energy looking forward into the future, but a little defensive, a little too ready to fight with his mind, with his words, with the sword of the tongue. You know what I mean? So the challenge is to keep our minds open in a world where that's literally crumbling. It's the challenge is to like surrender and understand that while we are moving forward and it's really exciting and everything, there's going to be moments where we need to be very alert as well. We need to stay alert. That's what I'm getting. Final answer. Stay alert. The challenge is to stay alert and ready for what's coming. Overall theme. What is the overall theme here? What's the overall theme for the week? Ooh. It's like, hold up, wait a minute, slow down. Who cares? We care. And we'd like to know what the overall theme is. Thank you very much. The Emperor. Okay, so this is a major arcana. And so when you get a major arcana card, you are tuning into a message that's coming in strong. That is maybe more important than all the other cards. So the Emperor holds his ground. The Emperor has had a lot of experience. The Emperor has a lot of responsibility as well. This does have kind of Saturn vibes, which is very interesting. But what I see in this is each of us taking our throne. Not like we're better than others or we're king or king, like nothing like that. It's like each of us, like he's wearing armor too. Like you got to be ready for anything. You have to think like an emperor. You have to act like an emperor. What, like, you know, those little like bracelets, what would the emperor do? No, it's like, that's the overall theme. It's like, you need to recognize also that there is within the world of the collective sphere, there are things that can feel like obstacles or things that are in the way. But if you think, you know, and move and do the things that you have to do in your life like an emperor, you're like calling in all of your power and your authority and stepping into your authority. So this is like, yeah, us individually stepping into authority, but also feeling like there is a force that, and because this came up upright, I feel like there's a force that is also protecting or holding space for this big transition. Well, there's a lot coming through with that card. More than anything, I feel like we need to sit on our throne. Yes, yes. Saturn is going, yeah, Saturn already went direct and on the full moon. So he activated a big shift there. Okay, wisdom from the ancestors. Here we go. These two cards fell out. Knight of Pentacles came out reversed, and the Seven of Pentacles came out upright. So I think whenever I see the reversals, when we get the message from our spirit guides, I feel like sometimes they tend to be like a warning. So Knight of Pentacles is, be stable, be grounded. You're like ready for the journey. You're not necessarily moving, but there's more of a security energy to it. When it's reversed, it can feel like that's not necessarily there. Like the world turns upside down, and you may not have that thing to rely on, is what I'm getting. And so the message is that, and I've gotten this card before, even just like a few, I don't know when I did a reading a few days ago, and this card came up, and this card is about like pausing and taking account and like recognizing all of the things that you have created and manifested. So it's like using the resources that you have, because it's like the resources that you kind of hope are coming into the future may take a longer time to get here, may be stalled somewhere. So you got to use what you've got. That has to do with like both physical things in your life. Like you can only count on what you have, not what you don't have, is the message. That's it right there. Count on what you have, not what you don't have. And so that means becoming very resourceful in your own way with your own skills and the things that you have created and manifested. All right. I like that message. Okay. And last but not least, let's see which animal spirit wants to guide us through this powerful transition. This Emperor card is also Aries energy, and that's the North Node, and this is also Aries is Mars ruled. So this card, and this is about taking action as well. Like Aries is about sparking into action. So the overall theme is like, to add to this message, it's like you need to be your own emperor and like spark like action as from behaving like, your own emperor is another message that I'm getting. All right, here we go. It's getting colder and colder. It's getting colder and colder. Sorry, it's really cold in my house. I'm living this intense experience this winter. Okay, here we go. The dolphin. So exciting. Innately intelligent, the healer, light and blessings. The gifts of the dolphin are beyond what our human minds can grasp. That sounds about right. Dolphin personalities are often drawn to the healing arts as they are sensitive to the subtle and enjoy working on the level of spirit. It's easy for dolphin types to underestimate the impact they make in the world. These creatures play such an important role in the wheel of karma that coming in contact with a dolphin type will change the entire course of your day and thus your life. Wow. This card can also indicate a profound blessing is on the way. Satanam, 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 Waheguru. Satnam. I love that. Oh, so this is a blessing, you guys. This is a blessing. Thank you, spirit guides, angels, teachers, for this beautiful message, for helping guide us through this energy. Thank you guys for being here and welcoming me back to these weekly broadcasts. I am possibly thinking of uploading. I'm thinking about it, like if I should upload something special for this transit, but I'm not sure yet because I actually do have a lot going on tomorrow. But anyways, either way, this is important. Like, do something ritualistic as you usher this in. It's like, what's the intention that you're holding? Feel the blessing that's coming. Hold that intention for humanity as Pluto officially enters. And let's usher it in a beautiful way. Thank you, 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 thank you. I will see you guys all again very soon. Sat Nam.